Stephen A. Smith joins me now. And Stephen A., we just heard Durant in his own words on his decision to join Golden State. He says it's an unpopular decision. He knows it, but he went with his gut. What do you think of what he had to say?
Well, I thought he handled it the way he usually handles things, with a lot of class. He said all the right things, and I'm quite sure he was sincere in everything that he had to say. It was a difficult decision because he's not the kind of guy that just wants to cut and run and leave the Oklahoma City Thunder. You know where my stance is, but the difference between my stance and that of those like Charles Barkley, Reggie Miller, and many, many others, there are a lot of people lamenting the fact that he left Oklahoma City. I don't have a problem with that. You've been there. You were there for 9 years. You were a superstar in this league. You established yourself as one of the top 3 players in the game. Your average career, 27.4 points per game. You took them to an NBA Finals. You did a lot more good than bad for that franchise. You owe them nothing. Not to mention the fact that they let go of James Harden, let go of Reggie Jackson, let go of Serge Ibaka and others. So ultimately, you can't blame Kevin Durant for making the decision that's best for him. My only issue was that he ended up with the team that he lost to. That's like Dr. J decided I can't beat the Boston Celtics, so let me go join them. Or Isaiah Thomas doing the same when Boston was beating the Detroit Pistons. Or Michael Jordan doing the same when Detroit was beating him and deciding that he wants to be a Piston. That was my trepidation, the fact that he went to a team that beat him. But as far as I'm concerned, that's the only trepidation anybody should have. Outside of that, there was nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with his decision. He's perfectly entitled to do what he chose, and now the pressure's on him because obviously when you assemble a crew of this magnitude, you had damn well better win the championship because anything less is unsatisfactory.
But you heard him. I mean, he said that he doesn't have many years left, right? That's why he made the decision, even though it might be unpopular, right?
No, listen.
What?
Listen, I don't know. Maybe Jay-Z or somebody put that in his head. Kevin Durant, I'm sorry, how old is Kevin Durant? I mean, Kevin, what is he, 28 years old? I mean, please, Kevin Durant, and not only that, he's not just that age. He's not even 30 yet, but he's 6'10" with a 7'6" wingspan with a handle who can pull up from 30 and is universally recognized as one of the top 3 players on the planet. Kevin Durant has at least 10 years left on his career. I'm not calling him a liar or disingenuous or anything like that when he makes that, but when he makes that kind of a statement like, I don't have but so much time left, just stop it. He's got plenty of time left.
All right, how do you see this playing out on the court, Stephen A.?
Well, they're the favorites. Is it a lock that they'll win the championship? No. San Antonio having Pau Gasol, that was a big-time pickup. Now, Golden State's still a favorite, but they got to play an A game in order to beat San Antonio because if Tim Duncan decides to come back with Manu Ginobili already having decided to come back with Kawhi Leonard there and LaMarcus Aldridge needing to make amends for his no-show basically over the last 3 or 4 games of that semifinal series, I definitely think that San Antonio is going to be formidable. When you look at the Eastern Conference, of course, it's all about Cleveland and LeBron James and the crew. And when you've got somebody like Tristan Thompson dominating the boards and giving you opportunities in terms of his rebounding prowess, that's going to put more pressure on Golden State to be effective. They are clearly the favorites to win the championship, as well they should be. But it's not like they can bring a C or a B game to the equation and it's still a foregone conclusion they'll win the championship. They're going to have to show up and perform in order to get the job done because there are at least 2 teams in the NBA, that being the San Antonio Spurs and the Cleveland Cavaliers, who still hold out the potential to have something to say about that.
Okay, so what do you think happens with Russell Westbrook in Oklahoma City? Do you believe he starts the season as a member of the Thunder?
It's hard to say. It depends on what offers Presti will get, but there's no question that Russell Westbrook is going to get traded. Presti is not stupid. You can't lose 2 superstars, 2 of the top 5 players in the game, and get absolutely no compensation whatsoever. Keep in mind that Kevin Durant leaving is just a devastating blow to Oklahoma City because they got nothing in return for him. He just signed as a free agent and went elsewhere. You can't let the same thing happen with a Russell Westbrook. So since Russell Westbrook hasn't signed an extension, doesn't intend on signing an extension, if you're Sam Presti, you have to let him go. You have to move him and get equitable compensation for his services. In order to do that, it's all contingent on what kind of deals you can manufacture. Whether that's going to happen in August or February before the trading deadline remains to be seen. But I don't believe there's any way on earth that Russell Westbrook will finish next season in Oklahoma City unless a miracle happens and he decides to sign a long-term extension. If he doesn't do that, Sam Presti is fully aware that he cannot cannot wait for Russell Westbrook to decide next summer and risk losing him for absolutely nothing the way he lost Kevin Durant. That cannot happen. Kevin Durant has changed everything, not just for himself going to Golden State, not just for the power landscape in the NBA, but also as it pertains to Russell Westbrook's future in Oklahoma City. Because Kevin Durant leaving and OKC getting nothing in return, they cannot allow that to happen with Russell Westbrook. He will be traded.